Hi, I'm John Hatlestad, and you are visiting my studio in Grays Lake, Illinois. I'm a builder. I have built things all of my life. When I was a little boy, I was out in the forest foraging around to make something, a slingshot or a little rubber band gun or something to play with. I'm 68 years old and I'm still doing that, and it's a source of extraordinary fulfillment to make something and make it with your hands. There are two ways that I work. One was that I'd sit down with my sketchbook and I'll design something specific, and then I'll make that. That's one technique that I use. Another technique that I use is to accumulate items of interest and then start to purpose them together and bringing them together and saying, okay, now this doesn't quite work, but this works pretty well, and then having your project grow from that. Being an artist is not an easy thing to do, but it is extraordinarily rewarding. I like to let things suggest themselves to me. When you see something that I've made, it's a genuine expression of my heart, and I'm proud of the fact that I have stuck with things and gotten them done, and that people call it beautiful. I look at something that I've made and I think to myself, it's beautiful, it's the only one in the world, and I made it, and I love that. I am in love with the idea of time moving. It's either moving away from us or moving towards us, and that's why I use all of these found objects, especially metal, which has had a patina of rust on it and has had a service to some purpose other than the one that I've chosen to have. When you look at something that I've built, you have the idea of the patina of time or the patina of the hand of man upon it. And those are very important qualities in my estimation. You can take something and nail it to the wall and call it art if you want, and sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. And when it is, it usually is a completion of something, and it's either more likely than not visual for me. For a writer would be the word, but I like the idea of having things that seem to go together this time around better than they did the first time around. And I love farm implements. I love the pitchfork. I love the discs that the farmer uses on his disc to turn the soil over. I like anything that's connected to the earth. And I love reusing those items. And a lot of the things that I've done, probably everything that I've done, is somehow connected that way, whether it be the pull on the cabinet door or the wood on the door that I built for the cabinet. The connection between material and man and earth is very close. It's to me, it explains the very essence for being, and that is a connection of man, earth, and God, so to speak. Time is everybody's friend and everybody's enemy. I think as I've gotten older, and obviously I can only speak for myself, but as I've gotten older, I really enjoyed aging and getting older. And I think age has brought a legitimacy, and I think it does to all artists, that you don't have when you're young. When you're 20 years old and this is your first film or book or whatever it is, people question that. And as you get older and your work becomes more refined, as it defines you, and the edges become softer and more, there's an ease about it. I just love that. I just love how that feels to the people who see it, and how it makes me feel. And so I think that time is a wonderful thing. There are a lot of people out there who suffer with getting old. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't some pain to go along with that, but I think that for the majority of the time, I love the getting old thing. And what happens too for me is that I start to relate back to the children. I love children, and so one of the things that I do at Christmas time is I'll make gifts for the kids, and this is one of the things that I make. This is a sword and shield that I make, and they can put their arms to it, and this is the sword. So as a little critter, you get to go out and slay dragons and imagine that you could fly, because at that age you can. And isn't that wonderful? Because that's where we all want to get back to anyway. I love to, obviously build things for my house, or build things for my living, and then to build things for my soul, because that's the biggest one, I think, when it comes right down to it. Because you need to feed your soul. This is not supposed to be an endurance contest. It's supposed to be a spiritual journey, and I'm going to stick by that.